All righty, here we go. Podcast number 56. Action. All righty then. Looky here. We got a pretty special show for you today. Griff come up to Ohio, and we took a trip to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Griff did some on the road with Griff Martin filming, and why don't you take it away, Griff, and tell them about your experience coming up here with your airplane flight with Frontier Airways and all that mess.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
Can I say one thing? Let me just say one thing. If there isn't a shittier airline out there than Frontier, I never seen one. That Frontier airline, I have to say, sucks, Craig. I was in Orlando getting ready to board the plane, and there's this Latino guy. Not that there's anything wrong with Latinos, but there's this Latino guy, and he let all of his Latino buddies through there with a carry-on bag bigger than mine, and then he spotted the old white guy there, and he decided to pick on me, and made me stick my bag, and then it wouldn't fit in the thing, which is fine, because I could take some of the stuff out of my bag and put it into my girlfriend's bag, Suzanne, who was already gone through and on her way to the plane. And he goes, no, you can't put your stuff in her bag. And if she don't get on that plane, I'm kicking you both off the plane. So he screwed up because she got a hold of his boss, and now he's in trouble. But not to mention that they canceled my flight on the way back, so I got delayed. But the trouble going and the trouble coming, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. But once we got there, we had a good time, didn't we, Craig?
Yeah, we had a pretty fun time. Yeah, I think Griff was surprised because he thought he was going to drive my car up there, and we got down in the garage, and I said, get in. He goes, ain't I driving? I goes, no, I'll drive.
Yeah, and it was a little scary, I have to say, because on the way back, this one guy was trying to drag race Craig, and Craig put the pedal to the metal. And
no,
over
I always complain about people riding in the left lane and diddle daddly and have people come up behind them. And this guy in this those Mini Coopers, man, he come flying up on me, and I didn't see him, and there was nowhere to go, so I just floored it. I think we hit 100, and then he was still trying to pass me, and I was laughing, and yeah, we were going pretty good, and then he passed me, and then God, what was it? A minute later, when I slowed down, there was a cop come right up beside us, and he got behind that guy, and that guy was hauling ass, but the cop just let him go. It was pretty crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the cop must have been on duty, because I mean, I think, the cop probably even saw us. But talk about, hell, Alan Collins, Craig Reed, that's a dangerous sumbitch himself. I mean, you guys, I thought I was going to die. I actually thought that the newspapers were going to say, Stoned Roadie crashes with co-host Griff Martin, and there was going to be a funeral and all this. But we made it. We made it back to Craig's house, and we had a pretty good time too at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We have a movie that I shot, and Craig shot a little bit too. And when we end this podcast, we're gonna go right into the movie, so you guys are gonna get to see it. It's about 20 minutes long, Craig?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we got right in though. I mean, I've been going up there since 2006 because they used my films for the induction, and then they also did the premiere of Lynyrd Skynyrd Freebird the movie they did up there, and so I talked to them people, and they said, yeah, in trading for us using your films for the induction, you can just get in anytime you want to and bring people with you if you want. So
Yeah, and one of the weird things was we went and looked at Bernice, and it almost looks like a gold top. It don't
it was
look
so
like a
faded.
sunburst anymore. It's lost its color.
Yeah, it's really faded out. We were talking about why it would fade out so much. I don't know, maybe being under the lights so much, because that was, that was Gary's stage guitar up until, I think, when I left the band in 2005 to 2006, I think it was still on the road at that time. I'm pretty sure it was.
And it was crazy because it wasn't long after we walked in. I think it was Tuesday's Gone came up on the speaker on the music. And
yeah, I heard a few Skynyrd songs in there when we were.
They play a lot of Skynyrd songs in there. And but yeah, Gary, man, you need to go get your guitar out of there. I think they're bleaching it out, man. Bernice ain't happy. Bernice, you need to go get Bernice before it turns into a faded gold top.
Yeah, the last time I was up there, I saw it, so I knew where it was, and I said, "There's Bernice," and I said, "But where's a little plaque that says it's Bernice?" And that there's a thing there, a film thing, and it keeps rotating, and there's a point where it doesn't say that it's Gary's guitar.
They had an exhibit, a Let It Be exhibit with the Beatles. They had some kind of exhibit there, and there was some pretty cool poster they had in the gift shop of the rooftop, the Beatles on the rooftop. I wouldn't mind having that poster. That was a badass poster.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Then we went over to the place where Savannah, I guess she did her bass playing. That granddaughter of Kathy.
The band there's a band that people just get together and go in there and get together and jam. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they had a couple guitars set up in there, and I picked one up and jammed a little bit on it, but you can't really hear it. They had the amp turned down real low, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it up. But yeah, we had a good time. Wasn't there very long. We was only there a couple hours.
Right? Oh, we just zoomed right through there. Yeah, we went right through there. Yeah.
And then I was supposed to leave the next day, and that's when they canceled my flight. And then a snowstorm hit, which was kind of cool because Florida boy don't get to see much snow. I mean, I don't want to see a whole lot of it, but I got to see a little bit of it. It was a nice snowfall there before I left. But hey, that picture you got up there, I don't know, man. Me and John looking pretty fat in that picture. I don't think John's gonna approve of that either, because he likes to see his picture before you put it up there. John, we're looking pretty heavy in that, man. We're fat.
I told John I was going to use that as the backdrop, and he must have forgot he'd lost weight since then.
Well, yeah, Craig's all skinny up there in the sea, and me and John, we look like a couple fat asses. He was wanting it to look like that, though, I think. Hey, you heard from that Mike Estes lately? He's supposed to be working on.
I talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yeah, he's working on my theme song for the Stone Roadie show. That's about. I think that he sang it to me once. I said, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." But yeah, he said he was gonna. He might be working on it now. I don't know. But he said he was going to get it together.
What was he writing? Some guitar music and some vocals for something?
He said he was going to put a whole thing on there. I don't know. He told me he just got his recording stuff set up, and he was able to do it.
What I didn't realize was that damn Mike Estes was on the Greg Gutfield show with Skinny Molly, and he was on that Huckabee show. Why don't we call that dude up, man, and see if what's he up to?
Who, Mike?
Yeah, give him a call, man. See if we can,
all right, yeah, I can call him.
Yeah, he's kind of hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, he is sometimes. Let me see.
But I've been in touch with some of those guys there at Muscle Shoals, and that Ron Eads, and I'm hoping to go up there the 18th on another Griff Martin on the road with Griff Martin. So you guys keep your fingers crossed, because I'm looking February 18th next month to go up there, and I'm going to do some behind the scenes. Going to go in the studio museum, and I'm probably going to go meet some people. And you know, Ron Eads, he's a sax player, and he's in the Musicians Hall of Fame.
All righty. Hey, can you come on and do a podcast with us?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Craigie, sorry, I didn't know it was you. Yes.
Oh.
I can. Yeah, I can. Give me, well, you want me to launch the meeting?
Yeah. If you still got that link, just go ahead and launch it. Yeah, and just come on with us. We was asking, Griff asked me about where that thing you was gonna do us a theme song, and Griff was asking me about it, and I told him. Okay. All right. Well, right.
Is he going to log in to the meeting?
Yeah, he should. He should have a link, I think, is still, and he can log in. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and we were talking to him. You talk to him last week, and he said he found those tapes, possibly found those tapes that somebody might have had.
Yeah, I don't know. Those Ed King tapes he was looking for. Yeah, I guess him and Sharon located them, and I don't know if I'm able to tell that whole story or not. Yeah. I hate to open up a can of worms.
Because sometimes Craig and I will spill the beans on some things we're not supposed to talk about, like I
hear stuff, and
like the Dolly Parton, thing.
Yeah, we released the Dolly Parton Freebird thing, and they called us and asked us they said, you know, everybody's not supposed to know that.
Yeah, Dolly Parton's people.
We thought we were doing them a favor on, hey, yeah, Dolly's doing this. And they go, no, that they wanted to premiere that, the grand opening or whatever they did. But
yeah, we're gonna have to get Brandon Miller back on with Zach Lane and talk about what they did in the studio there in Nashville with they got some kind of a secret thing going on, and we're not supposed to talk about. But if they don't hurry up and tell us, we're going to just tell everybody.
Well, from what I understand, they were trying to get a hold of Judy to make sure it was okay to do it. And I guess actually Chad, because Chad, my son Chad and Brandon have been talking. And so, you know, Chad knows Judy pretty well. So I guess Chad called Judy and said, hey, Judy, have you ever heard of this guy, Brandon Miller? And she goes, oh, no, and he said, that's the guy that wants to redo Freebird. She goes, oh, yeah, he's one of those Skynyrd fans that want to do Freebird. But, yeah, well, from what Mike said, that, you know, anybody could do it. You know, he just didn't want to do it without actually hearing from her. But Mike told me that, you know, anybody can do it. They're not going to make any money off of it. The writers of the song get all the money. So looks like.
Yeah. So I guess Judy will let it go ahead. Hey,
there's Mike.
What's up, fellas?
We were just wondering about that theme song.
I just happened to have been working on it this morning. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And it was, I had to hook up. I still use all the same stuff like me and Ed used to record with to write songs. Ed King, when I'm writing songs, I put it down. So I've got an idea. It goes, want to hear it?
Yeah. I was asking you just to sing me the lyric, and I was going to sing it myself. But yeah,
let's
hear what you got there.
All right, hang on.
Oh, this is going to be cool. A Skinny Molly presentation to the Stone Roadie.
Can you hear the drums okay? All right, here we go. It's one more time. 2, 3. It's a Stone Roadie show. All the skin formation that you need to know. Greg's got it all, so don't you go. It's time for the Stone Roadie show.
Yeah. Hey, that's
man,
good,
Mike,
man.
that's killer. I'm surprised you could do that because we had Miller, Brandon Miller trying to play, and then last week Zach Lane, he was trying to play, and we didn't think you could play music on Zoom, but yours came out, come through great, man.
Yeah.
That was killer. That's the best song you ever wrote.
You know what I love about writing theme songs for shows, it's great because the thing's only going to be 15, 20 seconds long or 30 seconds, whatever. And you got to get everything all in in a short amount of time, what the words are and stuff. So it's kind of a challenge, but it was after we got off the Zoom last time, the podcast last time, when Paulie was on and me, then I went to take a shower because usually after doing a podcast with you two, one needs a shower.
Yeah, you feel all dirty.
Yeah. So I got in the shower, and all of a sudden it came, it's a Stone Roadie show in my head, and then it went, all the information that you want to know. And then I went, wait a minute, it's skin formation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's amazing how you can write songs in the shower. I do it all the time.
It's the best place.
I think Ronnie used to do it. I think Ed used to do it sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, he did.
Well, hey, Mike, is there gonna be a full song, Stone Roadie song, or is it?
I haven't even told y'all this one, but the entire, well, I can't swear the entire, but at least 3 of us. My drummer Kurt, he's coming over on Monday, and see, I've just got this drum machine, like it just, and it's the same one me and Ed used, and he and I both had one, and so I mean that was from '92, and I'm still doing it the same way. But anyway, Kurt's coming over, and we're going to track. So I'll have Skinny Molly playing the Stone Roadie theme song on the recording. It's going to might take a week to get it completely done. Then Luke's going to be coming the following weekend, so I'll have him put his bass on. That way you get the whole band playing.
Oh man.
And
we ain't worthy, Craig. We ain't worthy, man.
Yeah, people have been telling me you need a song, a little intro music at the front. And I always tell people, whenever I see a podcast that's got intro music, I always fast forward it until they quit.
I'm the same one. And
yeah,
so
but that was
hey, you wrote Griff kind of opened them. Kind of told about you working with Gutfield and
Huckabee. Yeah, tell the story of it.
And Huckabee, and I think you told me you wrote the theme song for Gutfield on a Red Line.
Red Eye. Yeah. We had this song out when Obama was president called Mr. President, and we got invited to go on Huckabee's show, and we did that, and it went real good. And then
he played bass on that.
Well, he wound up not playing because you want to know why he didn't play? Because
yeah.
The only reason is not one of us in the band could write the part out on a staff. It was like, like a sheet music. He wanted sheet music for the bass part. And I was like,
oh, really? Oh, he reads music?
he reads music. Yeah. It was like, we're all like, well, all, and Kurt's like, Kurt, the drummer's like, don't look at me. Because we don't, I mean, I can read it, but it's like, that was funny. Ed's publishing company was called I Can't Read Music, and Ed could read music, and it was, but yeah, I can read it. I just can't read it fast. It's like, it's like about a first grader's level of reading. So
you were on Huckabee before you were on Gutfield?
Yeah, it's actually Gutfeld.
Gutfeld, yeah, Feld.
I think if it was Field, that would make it English, but I think he's German.
Gutfeld, yeah.
Yeah. So after we did that Huckabee thing, then I was a huge fan of Greg's show, Red Eye, and it came on at 2 a.m. Central, and it was the funniest, most out there, crazy show on the planet. And I had mentioned this to the guy that had got us on the Huckabee show, that I was a big fan of Greg's show, and they got us on, and they asked Greg if I could be a guest. I guess we didn't know each other. He certainly didn't know who I was, so he said sure. So we came on, and before I went to go on, I had written a dang theme song for his show, and they played it a few times, and I'm not going to get into it, but the show was hitting pretty high. I mean, right now he's the king of late night. He's got the highest rated show.
Oh, I watch him all the time.
Yeah. It's the best show on TV. And back then, when he had 300,000 viewers on Red Eye or something like that, I told him, I said, dude, don't worry, you're going to be freaking big time. And he never forgot it. So he came to Nashville and did the show live, and I went down there and hung out, and that was a hoot. And he had me all buffed out for that. It was,
Did he come to Nashville for you to be on it?
No, they did it. They had already before I knew they were coming, and they picked those things like 6 months in advance, those shows, or 3 months or something like that. So every other time he'd been to Nashville, I was never here. I was always out playing. So he was coming. So I got to go and sit in the front row, and I was the only person he talked to the entire time between them during commercials. And he kept singing the Red Eye theme song over and over. And he goes, "You remember the words?" I go, "Yeah, I remember them." And it was really one of the most fun things I'd ever. It's really fun writing theme songs. It really is. So when I did it, I never thought I could do it, but I did it, and he really loved it. So I actually have him one for his latest show. I don't know if it's kind of a take off the old one, but I got this thing where it goes, "I knew you when you're the king of late night, but I knew you when you were the prince of darkness."
Charlie Sheen used to write theme song.
Really?
On that show.
Oh, on that show, yeah.
Yeah. What's the name?
2.5 Men. Yeah.
2.5 Men. Yeah, that was his gig. He wrote theme songs.
Yeah. But yeah,
commercials.
That's what he did for a living. That'd be a great way to make a living. It really would.
Yeah, right.
He wrote commercials, I think.
Yeah. He did. The music, he would sit there at they had a big grand piano on that set, I think. Yeah.
Ronnie Van Zant would have been great at writing those jingles, man. He could probably pop them out 3 or 4 at a time,
He could write anything, I think.
Yeah, he could have wrote anything. Yeah, he could have totally done that. And it would have been great if he did. The Stones used to do it. the Stones first started out with a Rice Krispies commercial that they did in England. That was like the first thing they ever wrote. They actually wrote the lyrics in this little song, and it was for Rice Krispies. I think it was the first thing they got on the radio. One of the first things.
Well, Sweet Home Alabama was a commercial for Kentucky Fried Chicken, wasn't it?
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I think Ed made a few bucks off of that one, didn't he?
Yeah. You know, that Sweet Home Alabama, did Ed have rights to be able to do anything he wanted with that, or did he have to?
Well, without going into too far, the person that you have 3 writers on that song, for example, so each person can pretty much do whatever they want with their part that they wrote, but they can't do the whole. If they didn't write the lyrics, then they can't really do it without permission from the other writers. But the record companies always own the recordings, that's who makes a lot of money, is when they use the original recordings. I mean, because it's all random. It could be anything. Like, I remember when Black Dog at Zeppelin song was a Cadillac commercial for about 3 or 4 months, and it was the original recording, and it was like, God knows, it could be anything. They say, okay, yeah, we want $5 million for you to use the recording, and they go, okay, you know, it could be anything. It could be $5, $5 million.
Yeah, you know that Bob Seger, a lot of his songs, man, like they use them at the football games and Chevy commercial, and man,
that was the best Chevy commercial ever.
Yeah, like a rock.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, it worked. It just worked. Like, it really worked.
You know that, you speaking of Led Zeppelin, you know, if you were to post a picture of the cover of the Houses of the Holy on Facebook, they'll lock you up in Facebook jail.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've seen that happen to several people. So if you want to test it, anybody on Facebook, get on Facebook and post a cover of the Houses of the Holy, and they'll put you right in Facebook jail right now.
Was it for nudity?
I don't know. They
got something on. It ain't like,
yeah, I don't know. It's something about that album cover they don't like, man. I know a lot of people that have done it, you know, and they get thrown right into Facebook jail. Of course, Craig is the king of Facebook jail.
Yeah.
I've got a big old NASA sticker that I just my niece Lori just framed for me from the Gallery of Framing in Fairlawn on Jet Road. She's like the only game in town here. She does all the LeBron James's framing before he moved and stuff. And
really,
yeah, I guess
it's
frame
expensive,
shop,
man.
Frame shops kind of went out of business during the COVID stuff. They all closed up, but she kept going, and she's the only game in town, I think.
Yeah, wow. I sent Craig a big old NASA meatball sticker. You know, they call it a meatball, and it's about as big as a trash can lid, isn't it, Craig?
Oh, I don't think it's that big, but yeah, she framed it up for me. And Griff said, "You can't show that. They'll put you, if you take a picture of that, put it on Facebook."
Oh no, Craig's got classified documents.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine the stoned roadie with the NASA emblem in the background?
Craig, look out. Oh, dude,
it's a big thing, man. She framed it up beautiful too. It's got stars all around it and stuff. It's real cool.
Well, you're gonna have to show it to me. I gotta see that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cool.
If you put like a piece of tape in front of some of it, you might be able to show it, as long as some of it's blocked out, you know.
I could show half of it. I could show half of it, maybe.
The NA, yeah.
Yeah. Or put a cross across it or something.
Yeah, Craig's got, I think I've got him NASA hats and stickers and all kinds of stuff. But
oh gosh, yeah,
you see, Griff. You see, Griff. I've been meaning to talk to you about this.
Yeah, you need some stuff, man. Maybe we can trade.
Craig knows I'm a swag hound, man.
Hey, we can trade. I know you got some good stuff. You got that Billy Cowell patch, that couch back there, Billy Powell couch back there.
God, that thing, I just can't seem to get rid of it. It's just
I bet you there's some DNA in that couch.
That's where Billy slept when he stayed at Mike's house.
Yeah, it pulls out. It weighs a ton, man. It's one of them old pull-out ones with the metal frame inside. It comes out and it's uncomfortable.
Wherever Billy's at, he owns the remote control to the TV.
It's got that bar in the middle of your back when you're trying.
Yeah, the bar in the back. Yeah, and he but yeah, I set him up a TV down there. He was sleeping like in my studio and on that pull-out, and I set him up a TV, and but he didn't have cable, so he'd come up and commandeer my cable. But I didn't give a shit. I liked a lot of the same stuff he wanted to watch anyway. So
didn't Paul Abraham kind of kick him out, and then he came down to your house?
I think Paul got the ultimate, as Ed used to say, the ultimato. Billy's going to have to go, and so I guess he'd been down there for some time, couple months anyway. And Paul comes over and says, "Mikey, can you put Billy up for a while?" I said, "How long?"
What was the deal with him? Was he just kind of like running around like a nomad at the time, or was he just?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't want to. It was, personal shit with him, and I don't want to really say nothing about it because I don't really know exactly what was going on, but I just know that he was hanging, and he stayed here for a while. It was right down the road, actually, because me and Paulie were neighbors, but we couldn't see each other's houses, but we were next door neighbors, so it was kind of funny. But yeah, he stayed with me, and then I think he went back to Paulie's for a little while, and then he went back to Florida. I know Ed's seen him a couple times while he was here. He went down to Nashville for something, and Ed saw him a couple times and called me and told me that he saw him. He said he looked good. And I said, well, he's been staying here, and I ain't allowed to let him do anything. So
I had Leon up here staying with me for a couple of years. Me and Dole Baird.
I went to Craig's house. I went to Craig's house one time. He goes, "Hey man, you don't need a hotel. Just stay in Leon's room."
Oh, cool. Yeah, whenever I stayed at Craig's, he made me sleep in the basement because I got up too damn early.
Oh, you get up early too?
Yeah.
I get up early, yeah.
Dude, I'm up at 5 a.m.
As a matter of fact, Mike, when I was going to Craig's house this past weekend, and Craig called me and he goes, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm in McDonald's getting a coffee, waiting on your ass to get up." And he goes, "I still got to take a bath." And then I remembered that Craig takes 2-hour baths.
Oh, dude, he used to get all laid up in the bed on the road, man. We'd get in one of them nice hotels. He'd get his plush robe out of the closet after he'd had a 2-hour bath, and his hair would be wet, and he'd have his robe on, and I'd go knock on his door, and come on in, and I just got out, and I said, "Well, hell, I talked to you 2 hours ago. You said you was fixing to take a bath." He said, "Yeah, it takes me a couple hours."
Oh, and then Mike, so I go to his house, right? And then because Craig, he's kind of like a woman, putting makeup on and stuff. But for Craig, it's all about getting high. He's gotta prepare before he does anything. So he's got to get a buzz on, right?
Right.
So I'm out messing around, and somehow he locked me out of his house. And it's freezing outside.
Oh,
I'm knocking on the door, and the dogs are barking. And finally, I call him on the phone, and I go, "Hey, man, you locked me out." And he goes, "Well, where the hell are you?" I said, "I'm outside." And he said,
I didn't know you'd gone
you
outside. I was in the basement and I come up and the door was unlocked, and I just a freak about locking the door, the back door, you know.
Yeah. I know the back door. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep the door locked.
Yeah, so finally, then we were getting ready to get in the car, and Craig, I said, "Am I driving?" Craig goes, "No, I'm driving." And I was like, "Oh shit, I think I'm gonna die today. Today's a good day to die."
How far is it? Oh, I love riding with Craig, man.
He's pretty good.
One time when me and Craig were out, he was taking me from St. Augustine to the Jacksonville airport. And as we're driving through the north side of St. Augustine, there's an airport. And here comes this glider, like a small plane. And it goes right in front of us on the highway on 95. And I'm watching it. And it lands it's on our right. And it flips over on its top.
No shit.
Remember that, Craig?
Oh, yeah.
And then it just goes skidding down the runway. and it stopped, and we stopped, and it was like, man, I wonder if he's okay. Dude comes crawling out, you know.
Good God, man.
And we called 911 to tell them.
Damn, Craig, how come you never told that story, man? That's crazy.
I forgot.
You know what? He's so used to seeing airplane crashes. That ain't shit to him, man. He's just, that's just a glider. That guy will be all right.
And after that, we ran out of gas. This was in Dixie Blue at the entrance of the airport. And I'm already late. And we out of gas. He goes, it's just out of gas. There's no gas anywhere. Luckily, he had a gallon in his trunk.
Yeah, that thing only had a 13-gallon
tank.
Yeah. That was my 1932 Plymouth. That was Alan's and Leon's. Yeah, I posted a picture of me sitting in the back in the rumble seat on Facebook last week.
Yeah, and all of you Stoned Roadie fans, I made an attempt. I told Craig, I said, "Hey, we got to do something for the podcast while I'm here. Why don't we break into Alan's car?" And he goes, "I don't know how I'm going to get in there yet." And I said, "Well, what's your plan?" And he said, "I think I'm going to break the window on the passenger side or driver's side and climb in and kick the door open."
It won't
open.
Don't
you have the key?
I got the key. It's unlocked. It just won't open.
Oh.
Yeah, it's rusted shut, I guess.
Oh.
So I tried to talk Craig into going. I said, let's go out there and break in that son of a bitch. And Craig, it's too cold out there.
That thing been
I told him, I said, I'm ashamed of myself for letting that car get in the condition it's in. I forgot it was back there.
I think that's what it is. He don't want anybody to see how roached out it is.
Oh, it's roached.
Yeah, but that was, man, in its time, boy, we had some fun in that car. That was he had it loaded up with air freshener and shit, you know, that new car smell. And man, we'd go around Jacksonville in it and windows down at about 75 degrees. Man, it was great. Yeah.
He said there's a rub mark on the seat where Alan used to play his guitar, and it would rub the hole in the seat.
Yeah, not on the seat, on the door panel.
Door panel,
and the peg that held the strap on would dig in the door panel.
That's a cool thing, man. Right there. Yeah. You don't want to fix that. You want to leave that. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the body all rusted out, Craigie?
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
Is there any paint left on it?
Yeah, but it's not white pearl anymore. It was white pearlescent.
I remember. Yeah.
That thing was nice.
Yeah, the vinyl top is kind of peeled off, and
yeah,
it's returning to the earth.
Oh. Yeah, I remember when the squirrels got in there a while back, and you told me they'd gotten in and tore the shit out of the seats and stuff.
I don't know. Somebody might be able to do something with it, you know, maybe.
Hey, when I see these ones on TV that they're pulling them out of mud 2 feet deep and redoing them, anything can be done. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's somebody who might want to volunteer to do something with it, Craig. I don't know, man.
Oh, there's been all kinds.
This is a worldwide Stone Roadie show, you know, the worldwide.
What's that guy's name in Texas that does these? There's like this there's a new show out called Restore something, Surprise Restore or something like that. And these guys are doing stuff like that. I mean, doing completely roached out stuff. I'll look into it. Cause yeah, you need to get
what I do.
Now you got to if you've got about 60 grand, I bet you can get it put back.
Is that guy that's kind of affiliated with the Pawn Stars that does that restoration?
That's a different guy, but that guy's really good.
Counting car. That guy's counting cars.
That's that guy. He's real good. He's real good. But I mean,
that's kind of
that car be worth 6 figures if you put probably 50 in it.
Yeah, man.
That car's part of the Stoned Roadie tour, Fort Reed compound. When I get my gator and take people around the property, I come by because there's Alan's car. They all want to get out and look at it, and take pictures of it. Yeah, Griff's got his snapshot by that car back.
Did he? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's some poison oak over there or what.
Oh, dude, I guarantee you this. I've got more poison oak on my property. You can't if you don't cut something for a week, you're gonna have poison oak. That's, you know. That
was in the middle of my orchard, and now I got the orchard all cleaned out and stuff, but that poison oak's still in there like crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you do with the trees?
They fell down in a storm.
My buddy Larry cut them all. Those apple trees, he trimmed them all up and cleaned all up. Yeah, that's a golf. That's like part of my golf course now.
Yeah, but the trees, are there still trees left standing?
Oh yeah, there's still apple trees back.
Oh, okay. He just limbed them out and stuff.
Yeah, he just cleaned it out. Yeah. Yeah, at one time I had about 15 cars parked in there in the orchard.
Your old man would have loved that.
Actually, most of them were Tim Starcher's cars. He needed a place to stash cars. Me and Tim were in the used car business for a while. He'd stash cars back there.
Is he still doing that?
No, no.
They're starting to build up around Craig, you know.
Oh, no.
Big difference since the last time I was there. There's like a bunch of apartments or condos, and they've got housing developments. And
my wife's cousins live right down the road from you, Craig.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's like 10 or 12 miles, maybe, away. I forget the name of the town, but they live right. You know, I think they live I know that they can get to the Football Hall of Fame real fast. So, but
yeah, that's
one time Craig had were you in your gator and you pulled up to your mailbox and you got out and got the mail and just got back in and left, and some drunk girl wiped out the mailbox and flew into the ditch. Yeah,
that's a big ditch if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and they dug her out, and they were giving her the drunk test on his driveway.
Dang.
Yeah, I was down there with a gator, and usually I sit down there and look at the mail, but this time I didn't, and I drove up and around the back of the house, and all of a sudden I hear "ree," and all these sirens are stopped at the front of my house. And I went, what the heck? So I drove back down there. Here's this girl drunk or high on something, crawling, trying to crawl out of the creek. Now she drove right into the creek where my bridge is, you know. Yeah. When it
wiped out your mailbox, right?
Yeah, took out the mailbox, went right between didn't hit the flagpole at all. There's a flag
I remember when you put that up. That's right. Yeah, didn't you get hassled for having a flag up?
Oh, I've got I probably have 50 flags. Yeah, they didn't like. I had the Confederate flag. I had some issues with that. The cops come up here a couple of times. Why do you got to do that? And I had the American flag upside.
You shouldn't have to answer that question. It's your property. Put
And
up
then he's got these.
I had them rebel flag above the American flag.
Oh,
And you can't do that. And then I had the American flag turned upside down, and you can't do that. So they were here twice.
And then when I went in his house, he's got these Trump sucks signs. And I go, why do you have Trump sucks signs in your house? And he goes, people put them in my yard.
I was saying, I thought it was the neighbor across the street. And I was, after Trump won, I was going to go over there and stick them up, but they stole the election, so I didn't get my wish.
Yeah, that's right. Then
there's always some action over there at the reload.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been over there 4 or 5 times anyway, I guess. And
he's got lots of
people
popping in all the time. He's got the maintenance guy that cuts his grass, and he's got Jeff comes over there. And
why aren't you cutting your own dang grass? You got a tractor?
Oh, I just don't feel like it. Man, it takes 6 hours to mow.
Tell me about it.
My God, I got that 0 turn. I mean, when I first got it was kind of fun, to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And everything gets old after a while. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I know. If I hurry, it takes me 4.5. So.
Well, Mike, what you got going on, man, with the Skinny Molly tour? You booked up, or what's happening?
We're playing the Rock Legends cruise.
Cool.
That's the main thing that's coming up. That's really cool. And
that's in the middle of February in Jacksonville?
Yeah. Sorry?
Does that depart out of Jacksonville?
No, out of Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Are you going to be playing any gigs while you're in Florida at all?
Well, we were going to come up through Jacksonville and try to catch there, but I've got some other pressing stuff I got to do. And then we're going to come back. We're coming back in March. We're going to play at the Indian River County Fair, the Fireman's Fair, which is a big deal down there. And we're playing there and a couple of other places in the South. And we're going to try to hit Jacksonville on the way back home. But that's in March. That's like the 11th. I think we're in South Florida, like the 10th through the 13th or something like that in different spots, a couple of different spots. And then I think we're going to try to hit Jacksonville on the way.
Where does the Rock Legends cruise go while they're out to sea? Where do they go?
It goes somewhere different every year, I think. And this year there's like the cruise lines, they own different islands, and it's called Coco Cay where it's going this time. And I think it's an island that's owned by the cruise lines, but a friend of ours that lives here locally has been to that island and said it's fantastic, and that there's so much to do you can't get it all done in a day. So I've been to the Bahamas once and then to Hades once on that same cruise we played.
What other bands are going to be on the cruise?
I can't even name them all. There's Deep Purple.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's serious. I think Hagar might even be on this one. But there's like 21 bands, I think. And my buddy Greg T. Walker's band, Two Wolf, will be on there. Their front guy subs and plays with us sometimes, and we know those guys. It's like one big band, really. And there's some blues guitar players. Devin Allman's going to be on there. There's but there's a couple of 3 headliners, and
I wonder if it's too late to buy tickets.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think it's quite sold out yet. So I'm not sure, but I haven't seen anything that said sold out.
Yeah, well, yeah. What cruise line? Do you know what cruise line it is?
It's done through the Native American Heritage Association, and it's a charity, and they I'm not sure. Let me think. Which cruise lines is it? I can't remember. I've been on it 3 or 2 times, and I can't remember right this second which cruise lines it is. If you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you.
I guess just look up Rock Legends.
Rock Legends cruise, yeah.
And you probably be able to find it. So yeah.
But it's chock full of good, real good classic rock stuff and southern rock stuff, and it'll be a great one. This one will be really good.
Yeah, so, I'd like to go on that, but I got stranded at sea for 3 days, and I promised God I would never go back out in the ocean again.
You can't
I'm
believe
not
the
going
amount of
out
people.
in no boat in the middle of the ocean.
That's the worst thing ever happened to me in my life, other than getting divorced.
Yeah.
Stranded at sea, that is one hell of a thing. Well, an airplane crash might be
worse. Yeah. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's but you're not really out there that long. It's you get on Monday, come back, and you're back Friday morning. Like when you wake up Friday morning, you're back, and it's a blast. The food was good. I remember last time, and everybody has a great time. There's most 90% of the people, of the artists that I hung out with, well, at least 90%, probably 95% of them check their ego at the door. You know
what would suck is that that Norwalk virus that they get on that cruise where you get the runs and you're throwing up. Man, you wouldn't want to get that being in the band and all.
Well, you guys are really making me want to do this.
I'll worry about that when I'm on the plane.
Yeah.
I'd just lock myself in the bathroom, I think, and just stay there, if that happened to me. But
I've done that on planes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it can happen, it'll happen to me. That's for sure.
So yeah, we're doing that. That's the big thing, and we've got another. We're going to go to Europe in May, but we should have a new record by May. And if it's not, it'll be September. But we've got 2 Europe tours this year, trying to make up for not being over there in the pandemic. And we got a bunch of dates up in the Northeast.
So you were in the studio then recently?
Yeah, I have been off and on, but I'll never do this way again. Well, I'm too old to anyway, but I'm remodeling my studio while recording at the same time. I've done this once before, and I totally know better than to do this, but there was just no getting around it. So it's like I'm having to do things, build for a week, record for a few days, build for, it's, I know better. I dug my own grave on that one.
Well, as long as it sounds good, we don't care, Mike.
Yeah. So I'm going to, Kurt will be over. Me and him's going to start rehearsing for the cruise, and I'm going to get him to play on the theme song. And then Luke will be over the following Saturday, and he's going to play bass on it.
When you get done, you're going to send a file over to Craig so he can load it up.
Yeah,
man.
And then you can just use it however you want to. I mean, God, it's the least I can do. I've had so much fun on here, and Craig ain't done nothing but favors for me my whole life. So
well, we appreciate you coming on, because man, there's stuff that we keep finding out, like the Gutfeld and the Huckabee and the lost Ed King tapes, and man, you got surprises every time,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's like, it's funny, for 2 years there was nothing going on, nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom. So I'm glad. I'd rather have too much to do than not enough. So.
Well, I tell you guys, the Stone Roadie fans, when I was at Craig's, I got a whole bag of these Hell House stickers. I got him to sign. It took him 3 hours.
Did it?
He likes his signature to be perfect.
Well, he does have nice handwriting.
Yeah, he does have good handwriting.
I write my name good. That's
Yeah, the rest of it's hard to read. Yeah, the rest of he wrote this big long message on one of my guitar cases one time, and then I'm going, what does this even say? And I'm reading it, trying to read it, and all of a sudden at the end I get to Greg Reed. and it's done beautifully, you know.
And you know what's funny is I'm going to give this microphone away whenever I get my new microphone. I'm going to give it away on the Stone Roadie show.
You are?
And I had Craig sign it, and he fucked it all up. And he goes, "Do you want me to fix it?" You know, and I go, "No, man, leave it just like that. It's perfect." See?
There you go.
I didn't mess it all up. The pen messed up and quit writing, and there at the D on the read is kind of.
I think it looks great.
It's dark.
Did you do it with a Sharpie? You better watch it, Griff. You might smear the thing on that metal.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's better this way than any other way because it looks like, you know, the Stoned Roadie signed it, you know, while he was stoned.
Are you getting a mic like Craig's got?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one like Craig, but it's gonna be a USB.
You don't.
Well, that's right. You should, but you should. Well, if you get one that's not the USB, and then just get an interface. That way, you can use the mic for all kinds of stuff. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, you know what? That's what Zach Lane has, and Craig has it. So I might have to check that out. Yeah,
but that you can get a really good interface pretty cheap. I mean, you can get a really good podcast thing with that mic if it's $400, and you can get those SSL interfaces which sound fantastic, and they're USB. And they're $200, so you be in $600, and
so you just plug the interface into the USB and the mic into the interface.
Yep, and then you can use that mic you can use it for whatever, and it's more versatile because if you ever decide you want to sell it, the USB mics they lose value.
Okay.
Yeah, an XLR.
At least that's
like
the way it's been.
Yeah, my Focusrite interface 2-channel, it was only a couple $100.
Yeah, but now they're making, they're making them better and cheaper, and that brand SSL, which is one of the best brands of mixing boards on the planet, they're making a 2-channel one, and I just saw it on sale for $229 new, and I'd love to have one. I've got a Focusrite. Mine's the little one, the little red one. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what mine is. That's what Zach had too. He had
a lot of people have it. They sound great. I did a whole album with it, like all the vocals and all the guitars with that same interface, and it was okay. I've got a really good preamp though, and but yeah, I just bought 2 new interfaces that have 8 inputs each on them and out, so I can run 16 tracks at a time right now, all at the same time, 16 different sources.
Hey, Mike, have you seen Zach Lane?
No, Craig told me.
Have you seen him yet?
No, Craig told me about him.
Oh man, you got to check that young dude out. He's only 20, and
pay him $100.
What a you know what? You might have to give him a break, man. Some kind of a break, that introduce him to some people.
Where's he from?
Virginia. Yeah. He's up in that Tri-City area, Tennessee, Virginia.
He's in coal country. His daddy's a coal miner.
Country. Okay, yeah, that's where all my kin's from, that area, and on the Kentucky side.
Yeah, what a nice kid too, man. He's his father is really helping him out with all of his guitars and got him set up in the garage, and I don't think he even works. I think his father just makes sure that he's playing that guitar all the time. But yeah, we'll have to send you some
he said his daddy's a roadie too. He said he knows how to fix all kind of stuff.
Boy,
man, he note for notes. Ed King, his licks, MCA. I mean, you can't tell the difference. You know, he's yeah, you got to check him out. We'll have to hook him up with you, you know, so maybe you can turn him on to some of your buddies.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he come here and record something, Craig?
Just recently, him and Brandon Miller went there, and they're recording Brandon's album, and now they formed a band. What's the name of the band, Craig? You know,
Gosh, I don't remember.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it's been more than a week since we talked about it. So,
all right, fellas, I got to rip. I got to go to the doctor.
All right, man.
Mike, hey, thank you very much for coming in on such short notice.
Tell them to use two fingers for a second opinion.
Next time, take a hairbrush to that head of hair before you go.
I did. I know. I'm
like
trying to
been in this windstorm.
Hey, man. Hey, it looks better. It looks better than that right there, Mike. So don't worry about it. As long as it's something there.
I brushed my hair and my teeth.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on, Mike. Appreciate it.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Mike. See you later.
I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
So,
yeah, hey, Greg,
so
man.
we've been on. Oh God, here's my phone.
Probably an hour anyway, huh?
At least. Hey, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm doing a podcast right now. Do what? No, I'm on the air. Bye bye.
Yeah, Craig. So I guess we'll go ahead and sign off, and then we'll leave the podcast viewers with our video of the Rock and Roll Hall.
Yeah, that'll make. I think we started about. I don't know. Yeah, it's been right at an hour, I think. Yeah, so that's about 20 minutes or something like that. Yeah, so all righty then. So yeah, we'll just sign off, and this has been gonna actually be my first edit, really, because this is like the intro part of the rest of the podcast, which is up there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So you're gonna miss out on me singing "Happy Trails to You," because unless I redo it at the end, I don't know, but I doubt it. But happy trails to you until we meet again. And here we go with Griff Martin on the road at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And here we go.
We'll see you later.
Oh, I gotta end it here.